Hello everyone, it's Mike Levin. Life is good. Out walking the big guy there. And it's Friday, May 1st. Hey! Planning my coding day, and I'm really pumped about the work I have in store for today. It's kind of like hitting home a long, run of all this build-up. It's like cutting the release ropes on a catapult. And that is filling in a feature that has been long missing from my previous iterations of similar projects. And that is a context-sensitive job menu. Okay, let me explain. Because Pipulate can be run by clicking a bookmarklet in a similar way as you would have in the olden days with Instapaper or Pinterest. Those are probably two of the biggest examples. Although Delicious, the social bookmarking system, is probably the one that first innovated the bookmarklet technique, which is to drag a web bookmark to your favorites or bookmark bar in your browser, which stays open and makes clickable buttons as you're surfing around to quickly get to home or news or whatever. But instead of visiting a web page, it actually executes some JavaScript. And Pinterest was the second one to really mainstream the bookmarklet concept, because to start collecting an image to pin, you would click the bookmarklet and it would give you a menu of the images it found that you could cycle through, etc., etc. But the important thing there is that it's executing JavaScript from the context of the web page it's on. And that's where the context sensitivity comes in. You actually have quite a bit of information at that point, from the URL that's displaying to any highlighted text on the page. It's crazy stuff. You can highlight text, hit a bookmarklet, and essentially pull out that text. But I found there's enough trickiness and browser implementation nuances that I'm keeping away from the select text. And in fact, the only JavaScript I'm opening is that which says open another window at the following URL. Now here's the trick. The URL you request, you build. If you're looking at even a secure JavaScript page, it's not going to keep that page from opening a new tab that has its own sandbox execution context, since Chrome popularized that notion. And so all the defenses against cross-site scripting hacks that have turned off old bookmarklet tricks have not turned off the one simple trick of opening a new window, carrying all the context you need on the request. So essentially I'm opening pipulate.com !u equals the URL you were just on. I believe something like t equals a timestamp the bookmarklet was originally created, so I know what version Pipulate is being run when the code is fed back to the server. And probably most controversially of all, a base 64 encoded copy of the cookie data of the website you were just on. Consequently, Pipulate can scrape data behind web logins like Facebook and stuff, only from your system if you had previously logged on from that station or from that browser. So it's a great way to automate the collection of even logged in data, although probably that stuff isn't going to be able to be scheduled because it's relying on that cookie context. So anyway, I'm implementing a menu which, when it detects the site you're on, it presents the kinds of deliverables, the kind of Pipulate pre-canned deliverables like a crawl, a hashtag search, or whatever is possible at the site you're on, and then sets up the job, the connected Google spreadsheet, the Google spreadsheet sheet to execute such a job. And there's a bunch of different setups depending on what kind of investigation you're doing, looking at your social media counters versus a more traditional pure SEO crawl. And there you have it. I'm implementing the menu. So it looks at the context of the page you were on when the bookmarklet was clicked and presents the types of things you can do there. Get YouTube videos or your subscription count, etc. All canned, all ready to go. So you just grab the Pipulate Big Bookmarklet, visit a website, click the bookmarklet, and see what kinds of things you can do on that site. Yeah, cool stuff. Coding that today. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.